okay, the penis. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Journey to the Darkside. I'm Daniel.
Simon.
And yes, we are. It's a change of location.
Why do they keep just popping that on like that?
It's weird. I wish the director would just let us know. Give us a heads up, just once. A countdown. I saw Wayne's World. I know how you count down on this thing. You do the whole, you do the 5, 4, 3. Hey, you're naughty. Anyways, yes, change of venue. We are on the TPS TV set right now. I call it set like it's an actual set.
It's a set.
Fucking liver. But we're on the set. And so, yeah, we're going to kind of hang out here for the remainder of January. It's a new year. How was your New Year's?
Not bad. I don't, from what I remember of it.
I used to be that guy. In fact, I used to be that guy because you'd have to wake me up probably the next day and in your bathtub.
In the bathtub.
In the bathtub. So anyways, so honestly, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, with that, my New Year's was pretty boring actually, just watching TV.
Oh yeah, it was still boring. It was still boring in my underwear alone. Loser drinking by myself.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that would ever get me back going to drinking would be like, I can't let Simon drink alone. Like I need to be there with him. That way, we can crash together. So, anyways, but we are back with a new year, and not just with us, but a new year in WWF. It's 1994 right now.
It is.
And what do we have on tap tonight?
Royal Rumble 1994. Undertaker versus Yokozuna in a casket match.
Yes.
Officially a casket match.
Yes, not a coffin match, which we've already discussed the difference there.
Yep.
We have to belly buy in on this one. You literally just got to throw a fucker in and shut the door. That's all you gotta do. Shut the door. And you're good. You're good. So,
extra wide, extra deep.
Yes. Well, they had to make sure. Yokozuna, big guy. So let's look at Mr. Stats over here. What's going on with the stats? Give us the rundown here.
So this was January 22nd, 1994. Not too far from today.
No.
But Providence, Rhode Island, the Providence Civic Center. Do you want to guess the attendance? We'll do this.
I am always so bad at these.
This is 94.
It's 94 inch Rumble. It's a big one, but it is kind of.
This is starting to be a down year.
Let's go 16,000.
Man, wow. Aimed high.
Aimed high.
Aimed high. 14.5.
14.
See, I thought it would have been under 10 myself.
Yeah. Oh, really?
See, business is going down right now.
It's funny. Just a little side track we always like to do here. It seems like, with the exception of maybe 95, I ain't gonna lie, there ain't a whole lot to praise in 95. But it seems like 94 going down, and even
so can we skip 95?
You're gonna wish we did. But I feel like even like they say if the business is down, those are the years I really like. Like 96 wasn't a great year, I guess business wise, but it's like that was some of my favorite times right there.
Was good.
In fact, for Taker alone, some of my favorite matches.
Okay.
The Boiler Room Brawl,
So
you
can
got
we skip 95?
we may have to actually. We can't just because there's no way we can justify sitting through the Giant Gonzalez trilogy and then skip. Like 95's a good in comparison. I'll say that at least. At least we'll say that. Like it's like it wasn't great, but we do got a King Mabel match though. Fuck. But we're not worried about that right now.
We're not. Yeah.
Today we got ourselves one of my personal favorites. Legitimately, when we first started the show, we were talking like what match you looking forward to. Of course, we had the standards, obviously, Hell in a Cell, either Foley or Michaels, in my opinion. I love both of them.
Yeah.
I guess any of the big WrestleMania, the trilogies like Triple H, I guess, any of those, Shawn Michaels.
His first match with Kane.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of great stuff to go, we can be moving towards. But for me, the very first match that came out of my mouth was this one right here. This truly was just one of my favorites, always. And as an adult now,
and at your favorite pay-per-view.
Yes, exactly. And as an adult, this is like, yeah, you're right, because it's like one of those few times, like as a kid, I didn't care about the undercard. Like as I grew up, I would appreciate it a little bit more. But as a kid, I just want to see the Rumble.
Yeah.
Now, even though it was on VHS, I could have fast forward. I just thought I couldn't. I'm like, no, we gotta watch it. So this is one of the few times where I'm like, yes, like the undercard's actually kind of cool. We had the Hart Brothers going to the Quebecers for tag titles. We had Razor Ramon, the bad guy, going up against IRS, which doesn't sound like a great, but that's actually pretty good because once again, I've grown to really kind of respect Mike Rotunda as a performer, and of course as a kid. But as a kid, I just hate IRS. He's just a boring guy, even though as his character.
Yeah. And
he's doing his job good because now as an adult, I love the IRS character. But as a kid, I hate him. But you're supposed to, so it works. a really good Rumble card all around. But then, of course, you get this casting match, and I'm just like, yes. So let's get to, I guess, a little bit of the background here.
Yeah.
Now, this feud really kind of picked up in Survivor Series the previous year. Okay. These two guys were on opposite sides, and to my recollection, if you guys know any different, let us know, but this was the first time these two actually met, Yokozuna and Undertaker.
And you can go back and listen to and watch our review.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah, you and Joey laid out some science on that motherfucker. So these two guys meet, and right off the bat, because Yokozuna, who's been dominant this entire time, and I mean, against Hart, Hogan, doesn't matter who.
Yeah, not just jobbers.
Yeah, Luger, I mean, his guy has just been kicking ass. And this is the first time he shows fear.
Yep.
And he's actually scared of Taker. Now, that match would end, the match would end with Luger winning the whole thing, but those two, their participation, would end in a double count out. Yokozuna and Taker would be brawling on the outside. Yokozuna tried to slam his head to the steel. Didn't do shit.
Yokozuna sure did like to get counted out of matches.
Oh, it absolutely did. SummerSlam or Survivor Series. You know, he was just like, Survivor Series, fuck it. He gets thrown in there. He's hit the bonsai drop. And at this point, no one's gotten up for the bonsai drop. And Yokozuna lays him flat. And he goes up for a second one. And Taker sits up. And it's the first time where it's like, holy shit. Like, now Zuna's got a real competition. Now, I'm not saying, like, even as a kid, I thought he was indestructible. He wasn't. We saw Luger pretty much weaken and bring him down. Had he not fell out of the ring, Luger could have won the world title. We've seen Hogan beat him in 9 seconds, even though after a grueling match of Hart, still yet. So, I mean, I never had that idea of like, oh no, no one could beat him. I knew they could. But this is the first time where I was like, he's going to get squashed. Like, this could honestly be a squash match, and Taker could be victorious. So, in the weeks leading up, we learned that Yokozuna, because of course he is afraid of caskets. Caskets have replaced snakes. Whenever anybody fight Jake Snake, everybody's afraid of snakes. But then, when Taker shows up, everybody's afraid of either body bags or caskets. So, Yokozuna's afraid, and we get... And I haven't seen a lot of, stuff like this, in a while. I've been out in the wrestling loop for a good chunk, especially with Taker. Probably my favorite vignettes ever. And I know it's a bold statement. And I mean, when we get close to the newer stuff, I may be like, okay, no, I like this stuff better. But for right now, my memory warehouse, this is my favorite stuff. I love seeing him working on the coffin.
Love that, yeah.
We've seen him in this workshop before when we fought Kamala, but this time it's creepier. There's a fog rolling inside the workshop. He's in a different location. The workshop is now in a New England type thing. There's grass and tree, and there's like a colonial house way in the background. Now, I'm a movie nerd, so I'm just looking at all this weird stuff. I was like, before I was assuming he was from Death Valley, but now it's like he has a summer home up in Connecticut, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm sure he probably did that in Vince's backyard.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but he's out there, in his workshop, and he's, building stuff. And, dude, just some of the best promos. I mean, from Paul Bearer and Taker. And the other thing is, like, at this point, Taker's really got Taker down. Before, it was just really short, sweet, rest in peace, or whatever. Paul Bearer did all the talking, but here it's like, it's a balancing act. Now it's like, I'll do the first half, and then you take it away. And then Taker would come in. And of course, every week...
And their styles were so cool together.
Yeah,
Paul Bearer's like,
ooh!
Yeah, really, and then Taker's slow.
And just brilliant. We get, Paul Bearer on a carriage at one point, and it's a dark carriage, be afraid, be very afraid, and he goes away. And then broad daylight, remember, the sun's out, and we see Taker standing there, and it looks so creepy, because it's just like this dark shadow, and he's standing there right as the carriage pulls away, and then he looks up, and he's just like, you shouldn't be afraid, you should be terrified. It's just like, holy shit. Goosebumps right now. Some of the best stuff ever. Each week, Yokozuna's seeing this on the screen.
those days, period.
Oh, I agree. No, absolutely. To me, I love this. Like, all of it. And Yokozuna in the ring, looking at the Titantron, or what would become the Titantron, the 6 little, or the 9 little boxes up there. Yeah. But he's watching, and he's freaking out week after week. So, they make the match, and of course, it was supposed to be a one-on-one match, but then Paul Bearer returns the contract. Well, there'll be stipulation in there. It's going to be a casket match. And of course, Cornette's pissed. He's like, no, that's bullshit. The papers are already signed. Zuna already signed papers. They already signed it. Yeah. He claims he didn't see that casket thing on there, which may have been a little skeezy on the dark side. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Yep. Taker, he ain't afraid to go to court. He don't give a shit. So they go ahead. They forge documents. Casket match coming up. So now they're trying to play off like, well, Yokozuna's not really scared of caskets. And of course, one night they bring the casket. I think it was Money Night Raw or Superstars. At that time, it was like they were so similar because they still look like 2 crappy house shows. Yeah. So you can never tell. It's just, whatever said we're all in the background. But anyway, they bring it out a casket, and of course Vince is in the ring interview. This is when Vince was like hardcore commentator and correspondent, and so he's talking to Fuji and Yokozuna, and of course to prove he's not scared, he's gonna squash the casket. Fuck that casket. Yokozuna ain't scared of that shit. And so he's like goes up to it, and he goes to open it, and Taker pops out, and we see how scared Yokozuna is. He falls back on his ass, he scrambles out of the ring, big pop. Yokozuna gets out of there. What's he gonna do? What is he gonna do? So we get to the match, and here we are. Royal Rumble, World Title match, Casket match. Taker, Zuna. Here we go. We'll go ahead and start us off on this, some of the action here.
No. No. I thought it started off really good. I mean, I've said this before. We said this before. Taker, for being a 6'10", 7-footer, whatever, depending on the year.
Depending on who's commentating,
But a 300-pounder, and Yokozuna being a 600-pounder.
Yeah.
These two can move.
Yeah.
These two are very, very, especially Yokozuna. Yokozuna should never, ever, nobody that size should be able to move like that.
No. Way so
agile. He still has some.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a slow.
Yeah.
Compared to like a Shawn Michaels or something, but I mean, he's still like.
Well, look at like Bam Bam Bigelow, who, he's a big guy, but he's not obese. I guess that's the word we're going to have to use. Is, not to be mean, but obese. And of course,
burly fella.
Yeah, and so, Vader, same way, big guy, but still, it's like, them being agile isn't as shocking. But Yokozuna being obese, it is kind of like, holy shit, like he can move pretty good for a huge guy like that.
So, on paper, as, older now, you might look at this and go, these two guys are just going to be slow and plodding, and just,
Yeah.
No, not like that at all. I mean, they get her going pretty quick, and it was a big surprise because this is probably right around when I took my first break from a wrestling thing.
Gotcha.
Like I said, business was down. I'm part of that.
Exactly. It's, they look at you when the trends are happening. It's like, oh shit, somebody watching, we're down. We're down.
It was Hogan, Savage, and Andre, and then Brett, Austin, Rock, Foley, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Yeah.
It's just kind of that new generation.
Yeah. In between there,
so, and I've seen these matches because, I mean, like I said, I would rent the tapes. But, like, as far as being an all the time watcher, not really. So, I mean, some of this stuff's here for the next couple of years worth. It's going to be freshish to me.
Gotcha.
And so it was cool to see, like, this matchup in general, like, specifically, like, I don't know why business was down.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, as a fan, I'm thinking, like, how? Because this is, like, fucking top-notch shit right here, but, it is what it is. I love the fact that we get weapons immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right off the bat, he knocks Yokozuna out of the ring, and he goes for a chair. And I love, he grabs like one of those plastic, like, school chairs, and I'm like, yes, because it's like, you rarely see it. And dude, like, right in the neck with it. And I'm just like, yes. And then he goes, who was that guy at ringside? Like, I don't care about the guy's name. What was his position? There's a guy at ringside. He wasn't the ring announcer. That's the fake. He wasn't the timekeeper, because you can see the timekeeper on the other side of the time table.
Yeah.
Just a guy in a suit, looking nice, not like security or anything. And Taker walks up, grabs him, and launches him out of the chair, and then grabs a steel chair, and go to work on Yokozuna. Now, that's a quick shot. You're going to, like, it happens, and then you don't think about it. But I was, like, seeing this match a million times, now I'm looking at the little thing, I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck was that dude's position exactly? Like, what, it's like, if he was, like, the cable wrangler, you are overdressed, buddy. That's all I'm saying. If you were anything other than just...
Rumble, dude.
It's a Rumble. He's like, I'm dressed up nice. They did togas at last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a suit now. You know what?
He's like, hey, I'm gonna be featured in a spot here.
Exactly. He's like wearing jeans and he looks like a Brooklyn Brawler, and then they're like, hey, you're gonna be on. We're gonna throw you out of the chair. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be on pay-per-view. I'm gonna be actually on the camera. They're like, yeah. Steve, just fucking get out there. He's like, give me 1 minute. Runs down to the store, gets himself a nice tux and everything.
Yeah.
Like fucking Steve. So anyways,
did you happen to catch there was a spot around the same time when Yoko's throwing Undertaker against the steel steps, and they're doing the standard like thing, and there's one, I think it was the last one where Undertaker just did not use his hands at all,
and he actually took
the
head
a full facial to that.
And I was wondering,
I forget, there was somebody standing on the ring apron. Maybe in Cornette, one of the managers or something. Like he could, like even they were like,
holy I didn't catch the reaction, but
like,
I did catch the thing. And even when I watched it, I was just like...
Because it's almost like you can see he was going to, and he slipped or something. I mean, he just faced first right into that.
And I remember when I saw that, I was like, you hear it too. I mean, it's crack. And I was like, initially my mom was just like, because it's all work. I was like, did he use his foot to make that sound? I was like, no, he hit his head on the goddamn stairs. So it's like, son of a bitch. So we get all the typical Taker spots. And I will say in this match, going back, I didn't realize how one-sided it felt. Like, it really was. I mean, don't get me wrong, Yokozuna has moments, but it's mostly like a Taker squash match almost. To the point where he literally, once he hits him with that choke slam, it's done for him.
The worst choke slam I've ever saw in my life.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't top 10, but considering how big Zuna was, I didn't think it was too bad. Because I really don't remember.
I'm thinking about the other match.
Maybe, but I don't remember. I don't remember a bad choke slam.
I think Yokozuna got about this far off the ground.
It didn't get a whole lot of air, but
he just kind of choke pushed him.
Yeah, it's okay with it. I mean, considering his size,
it just seems like, if you can't do it on him, don't try it.
Well, maybe they thought they could, though. You know what I mean? Because once again, Yokozuna does have
it's not like he's not going to get the hand time and like.
Well, I think it's one of those things like, like Giant Gonzalez, obviously, no. Kamala, no. Zuna, if you were to be like, hey, you want to try to choke someone on him? Like, yeah, well, of course, he's agile. He probably did. So, I mean, maybe that's what they were thinking and just didn't quite. But, I mean, in my opinion, I didn't think it looked too bad. I mean, yeah, I didn't get the air on it, but at the same time, it fucking choke slam. I mean, he got around the neck and he still planted him.
Technically, you're right.
So Taker rolls him into the casket. I mean, we're done.
That's it.
It's just match over. New world champion.
Yep.
And he goes all over that casket. Now, as a kid, rewatching this match a million times, I don't know if anybody else did this, but when I was a kid and I watch a movie or a show that I've seen numerous times, like, and you're a kid, you're just like, well, maybe we can change things. Like, maybe don't go check out investigate that noise outside. You'll still be alive. And Michael kills him anyways. Here, I just always said, like, just shut the fucking casket from the ring. Like, he's there, and he's just like, I'll come outside the ring to do it. And I'm just like, why?
One question.
Yes.
So, how exactly does this opening and closing of the casket work? Because it seems like one guy can have the officials do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
So the other guy, then like 2 seconds later, it's like, no, he has to get out and he has to close the lid himself. Is it just something they just call on the fly and it doesn't matter?
Probably.
And I'm not supposed to be asking these questions?
Well, here's how I look at it. I think, honestly, even from a kayfabe perspective, like this is real. I look at it as either or. Like, okay, you know what? If you throw him in there, it's like, fucking shut that thing. I'm worn out. Maybe Taker's just the guy's like, no, I ended him. I'm watching that motherfucker.
Well, it just seems like even the commentators were not quite sure on who's...
Yeah.
Because at first they're like, well, they got to wait for those officials to close that lid. And then, 2 seconds later, it's like, well, now he's got to go out and close that lid. And it's like, who's got to close the fucking lid?
I would say in reality, they were just guessing on that shit. I mean, I'm sure it's like...
Because they'd always point at him and the ref or whatever would open it.
Yeah. And see, I feel like now, if say like I have my own promotion, and it's like, we're going to have a casket match on the thing.
Oh, here we are.
That'd be my ruling is the officials can open the casket, but you have to shut it. That's how I would just be like, that's set in stone. There is no, I feel like at that point you're not even winning it, they're winning it for you. You have to be the one to go out there and shut it. But opening it, if that should just be open anyways, in all reality, when you're starting it off anyways, it should just be, I think it should be on a where it's not so like flopped over, it can just be like a coffin. Then you're just like, and then go out there and you gotta shut it kind of thing. But it is what it is. I mean, you won't have the spot, I guess, on top of it, so I guess that, you take that away. But so anyway, he goes to shut it. Crush comes out, and I'll tell you right now, of all the Crush incarnations, this is my favorite look, favorite attitude, and I know he has personal issues. I was like, I don't know why they didn't push him. I get it. He was a drug addict.
James.
Yeah. Oh.
I guess it doesn't count because it's not drug.
Yeah. But Crush, I love that look to him, and he comes out, but once again, it's already established that him and Zuna are boys, they literally, he's a Japanese sympathizer for some reason. There's nothing happening in Japan right now, but he's a Japanese sympathizer nonetheless. Anti-American, he comes out there and starts laying it, and once again, it's a credible fight. Now, I know, like, when you stack up legacies, obviously Crush is nowhere near Taker. But in an actual fucking brawl, I think I could buy Crush could actually go toe-to-toe with him. And it's not like he was actually getting the upper hand, like Taker was boom, fighting back.
Yeah.
But then out comes Tenryu and Kabuki. Now, here's the story behind them.
Let's hear it.
they were actually brought in to make sure that Lex Luger does not win the Rumble. Now, here's a story, a little side story here. Luger, when he fought at SummerSlam, they didn't do their job good. They did this one good. They had 2 jobs. They did one of them right, but the other one they failed on. SummerSlam, Luger beats Zuna, but he beat him by countout. The stipulation in the contract says this is your last chance. You will never get another title shot. But then, of course, the fact that the Royal Rumble grants you one, they're like, well, it's a loophole, but it counts. And of course, that was the whole argument. Cornette was just like, no, he had his one shot, that's it. And of course, Jack Tunney was like, well, you're right. We're not giving him a title shot. He has to earn it through this match. So it was, and as a kid, I'm like, no, I like that. It's good logic, So Fuji, on the other hand.
Remember when they used to do that?
Exactly. You said logic. It's great. Great storytelling, right? Fuji decided to hire a couple of hired guns. Now, these guys are huge in Japan. But unfortunately, unless you get your hardcore schmarky fuckers out there who are just like, no, he died in Tokyo Dome and it was great. They made no impact here in America. Now, I'm not saying complete zero. They may have, their styles were influenced other wrestlers, and that may be very well the case. I don't want to hear some fucker out there like, this one wrestler, he got that move and he got it from the Great Kabuki. Well, that's great. That's perfect. Doesn't matter. Here, I don't know. Now, Tenryu actually did make 2 appearances in WWF pay-per-views before. He was actually, oddly enough, fighting Crush and Smash of Demolition at WrestleMania 7, along with Katao. That's a whole other story right there with Katao. We don't have time now. And then, of course, he was in the last year's Rumble at 93. One of those rando picks they just threw in there. Yeah. So, and as a kid, I, followed wrestling, like at least pay-per-views and most of TV. So, like, I knew who Katao was. So in my mind, it was like, he's legitimate-ish. I didn't know who the Kabuki was. And to me, I always thought he was a ripoff of the Great Muta. I don't know who came first. I don't care. But as a kid, I'm just saying what I thought. I was like, to me, he seemed like a second-rate Great Muta, so I was just like, fuck him. But anyways, so they come out and they start tearing into him. But Taker, he don't give a fuck. He's fighting them all off, whooping ass. So then we start getting others come out there. And I don't remember the orders exactly, but we had the Head Shrinkers at one point. We had Bam Bam Bigelow. Double J Jeff Jarrett, which to me is the funniest one. He comes in, right? Like as Taker's cleaning house, he comes in, goes right for the top. He's just like, double axe handle. And Taker's just like, it's just like, Jeff Jarrett, you fucking suck. So anyways, chopped him, goes down. And then of course the biggest one that comes out, I think it's smart that he came out later because there was no offense at all on him. Diesel. Diesel comes out there. And I think it was a great time. Now, during all this, because obviously I don't know chronologically who came out when, at one point, they still, and when I say they, Cornette and Fuji steal the urn from Paul Bearer. Yep. Now, Bearer would go out there, and he ends up, I forget why he hits Fuji with the salt basket. Bucket. And then he hits Cornette with the fucking urn, and I was like, yeah, because Paul Bearer's not afraid to throw it down. We saw him clothesline, who was it, Harvey Wippleman at one of the pay-per-views. So it's like, we know Bearer's willing to scrap. He may not get far, but he'll scrap. He don't give a fuck. So I like that. So he gets it, and of course he's throwing the urn up there. Now, if we're going to go through kayfabe world and make this real, without supernatural, because we established that boogeyman ain't real, the ghost ain't real, but these guys, how do they pull this off? And I've always thought of it this way, and as a kid, this how it made sense, that was always their backup plan. Like, no matter what, Taylor's going to keep coming back, as long as he's willing to. But it's up to Bear to kind of see, how can he, clearly he's just like, he's coming back up. Oh shit, he's down. Oh, he's not, okay, shit, he's really down. Oh, he's coming back now. Okay, now! So, it was both a balancing act for him to kind of do that. But when it got to the point where he just got his ass kicked and they still didn't earn back from him, I think Bear kind of gave like, it's gone, and then Taker's just like, good, because I'm really fucking hurt right now. So, Taker's down, and I feel like we're going to get to the crazy moment here in a second. But, so Taker's down. We get multiple, big splashes from the,
everybody hit their big, their shit.
Exactly. Except for Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett still didn't do shit. I don't know why.
Just wait till the next show. In a couple of weeks, you guys.
So I'm like literally watching all this shit. It's great. So, you ever hit their big moves, and they start rolling that. As they're messing with it, he's still fighting back a little bit. They open up the container, the urn. And all this smoke comes out. Now, here's how I made sense of it when I was a kid. Because once again, I'm just like, that's ridiculous. There's no way that's his actual spirit or the power, not like that.
It is too.
I always thought that Taker and Bear have great sense of humors. And unrelated to the whole balancing act of doing this, he's just like, shit. He goes, he's depressed after Survivor Series 91. No, this Tuesday in Texas. What's wrong, Taker? He's like, oh, he just dumped my parents' ashes in my fucking face, and that's how you beat for a world title. And he's like, yeah, it sucks, man. You want to try to scoop him back in? He's like, no, we're not using my parents' ashes anymore. That's ridiculous. It's like, well, still I think earn out there. Like, they think this is your power. It's like, well, there's some fucking smoke bomb or something in there. Like, yeah, put something in there, put chemical in there that when the air hits it, smokes like a motherfucker. And they're like, why? He's like, don't worry about it. If some jackass backstage tries to steal my urn, I want them to think some spooky shit's gonna happen. Oh no, it's smoking. Fuck, let's get out of here. That's all it was. It was a Batman booby trap, pretty much. And so that's how I justified it in my head. So I never put any of these together. To me, it was just two independent acts that just happened to happen on the same exact day. So they open it up, Spirit rolls out, and Taker is just fucking dead. And they roll him into the casket, and they shut the lid. Ding, ding, ding. Yokozuna retains his title. And so...
It took 10 guys.
10 motherfucking dudes. And dude, isn't that the way you'd want to go out? Literally, like, from any perspective. It's like, dude, that put Taker over in my mind. Yeah. Huge.
I mean, he lost.
Yes, and the fact that I think it worked for Diesel as well because everybody else out there looked like chumps because they are getting beat up. And then whenever the smoke's coming out, that's when Diesel shows up and he's just like, well, shit, I'm not going to get beat up now. He's just, I'm Diesel. And I'm like, don't hate him for that. Like, I'm like, that's brilliant. Yeah, exactly. So, and he has a good run in the Rumble later on too, but that's their story. So anyways, they're all in there. Takeover's like $1 million going out. And of course, they start to roll away, and then we hear it. Boom. Holy shit. And then we get the Titantron. Now, here's my next theory and how I make sense of this. Try to make this logical. Just like the urn, they always had this kind of in mind. Taker, he's a very confident wrestler, but what if somehow Yokozuna beats you? Paul Bear's like, listen, you're not supernatural. I know you have to pretend you are, but you're not. He hits you with like 7 fucking bonsai drops. You're fucking dead. All right? That can happen. That's a reality we need to look at. What then? Clearly it's a pre-taped promo because it does this weird thing where you see the casket, and then they zoom in on him, and it's just like, so clearly pre-taped, so he's just like, we'll just tape some spooky shit. Fuck it. And at that point, I'll be so beat up. If they can get me in that coffin, clearly I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
Clearly it didn't go right, and they must have pretty much killed me. So I will leave this cryptic message of this, which is the greatest fucking Taker promo of all time, the greatest speech. Put that shit on a t-shirt. I would buy it up. It is awesome. Brilliant. Lightning, thunder, and all that stuff. And then, of course, at this point, people are... And dude, people got Jim. I don't know why. I have a hidden boner, I guess, for him. I don't know. I had my eye on Jarrett the entire time during this match, just because I've watched it 100,000 fucking times, that whenever I start watching, I get kind of bored watching certain things over and over. So then I start, grabbing everything. So for whatever reason, I was just focused on Jarrett. Dude, his scared, it's brilliant. And then, of course, you see, this entity come out from the screen, and you see him levitate to the heavens. You know who that guy was, don't you? That was one of the druids. So when they're backstage, they got their druids. We've seen the druids before, so these are canon. Paul Bear's like, hey, Jim, get over here. Listen, it could go wrong. Okay, this could go really bad. We got the tape set up. Okay, if something does go bad, get me on the Tron. Hey, just stand there. And hey, Phil, get over here. The second druid. I think at this point we've only seen 2 druids at a time. Phil, get over here. Okay, look, we got a pulley system. Just lift him up if things go wrong. I'll cue it all up. You won't even see me on camera. I'll cue it up. Do it. We gotta really be. Their job is still spooky, right? We're making sure everybody thinks it's spooky. So then, Bill plays. Bill pulls it. Jim goes up, and Paul Bear turns on that fog machine, and then he ascends. When he gets up there, he puts his dark cloak back on, and they stir up. At that point, everybody's scared shitless. Even Diesel's like, fuck this, I'm going back to the locker room, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. By the end of it, nobody's out there.
No, everybody's gone. And so no one's going to stick around, no one's the wiser, and that is how the match ends. In my perspective. You can look at this, and that's what I hate about fucking the smarky fucking, I don't know, I'm just as much a part of this as you guys are out there. But everyone's like, this is so hokey. And you're like, it doesn't have to be. If you can put true logic to it, you can make almost every storyline work. And that's how, as a kid, this is 94, so I would have been 9 years old. As a 9-year-old kid, this is how I made it work. As a 9-year-old, and you fuckers can't even get past it. You guys are like, it's so cheesy and hokey. It's like, well, then guess what?
Hokey horse shit.
Yeah. Do it. I loved it. And this to me is just, it was the icing on the cake.
I bet he was out there saying that it was some hokey
God damn.
Why am I gonna be a part of this fucking bullshit?
This is like some Alamo Macho bullshit. So anyways, they wheel the casket away with Taker's broken body inside there, which, once again, he took a lot of fucking punishment. Like, they bashed him with chairs, everybody's hitting their big finishers.
They obviously killed him.
Yeah, I mean, it literally is like he's back. He might as well just be dead at this point. So that was the match. Simon, overall thoughts on this match?
Oh my god. Loved it. I mean, I'm not as hard for that ending as you are, but...
Sorry, I didn't know you could see that.
But, no, great match. Surprisingly good match.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's one of those on paper, 7 foot tall, 300 pounds, 600 pounds. You know, I'm thinking Taker, Giant Gonzalez all over again.
Yeah. I was like, tell me our history of watching these
Taker,
matches.
Kamala, all over
yeah.
again. No, dude. I mean, from the start, and it was, I mean, like you said, Taker was in control for most of the match, but like, I mean, so yeah, this is definitely this has got to be one of the best ones we've watched so far.
Agreed. Totally agree.
We'll go with 3.
You go 3? All right. Me, I'll say 4 fucking stars. Flat out.
4 fucking stars.
So we'll go 3.5. Yeah, this is
our first 4-star review.
Well, 3 would be 3.5.
Well,
you went 3, I went 4, so 3.5.
First.
No, because I think WrestleMania or Royal Rumble 92 did that. You went 3 stars, I went 4, so
okay.
it'll tie with that one, which is respectable because I love both matches equally. For me, it's the total package, and not Lex Luger because he's not total package right now. He's all American. The match itself, top shelf, especially given the fact that we've gone through a lot of shit lately to get to this. It really does stand out even more. Makes it even more better by comparison. Story going into, like I said, you don't get any better. I mean, I'll tell you right now, those vignettes were perfect. The story, great. Cornette, like I said, I've always loved the fact that he will make it real, and I love the little subtle hints of like they fucked the contract over. It's like they don't talk about that shit, but he made it more realistic, and that's what even as a kid I appreciated that, and I didn't realize it, but at the time I was like, no, that makes a lot of sense. See, this is why he's one of the best. Even Fuji takes a bump, and at that time they even talk about how that's why Cornette was there because Fuji was just so old. Yeah. So everybody put on an A game, and so I totally appreciate that. Also, what makes this match so much better is the logic and just the psychology of the match itself. I don't get why this doesn't happen every fucking match. And I guess if you do it every match, you lose this thing. We watched the Chicago Street Fight many months ago, right?
Yeah.
Skyscrapers against Road Warriors. And during that match, Duke comes out.
We haven't talked about the Masked Skyscraper in a while.
It's been a while. We're bringing back right there, buddy. We're sorry.
Sorry about that.
Mike, we're sorry. So, as the Duke comes out, they were watching from the ramp, and I even had comments like, why don't they just run under? It's a fucking Chicago Street Fight. 4 against 2. God damn, it writes itself. They're winning. Even like Mark Calloway or Mark Callis is just like, I'm leaving this match. Fuck it. It was just like, what? And they all quit. Here, with no DQs, Fuji's like, I'm hiring 10 motherfuckers to come down here. People that literally are trying to win a shot at Yokozuna's title later tonight, I'm only going to hire them because guess what? I got to beat Taker. He knows you can't beat the Taker. It just ain't going to happen. And clearly it wouldn't have had it not been for these things. So literally, he gets 10 motherfuckers to come out there and just lay him down. And I truly think he had probably about 5 more motherfuckers behind that curtain. Because he was just like, guys, we don't need y'all out here.
I think Jarrett may have wandered out on accident.
Yeah, I think he got hired. There's no way Fuji's just like, I'm getting these big beefy dudes and Jeff Jarrett.
Jarrett's back there watching the monitor and he's like, oh fuck, did the Rumble start?
Exactly. He's like, I'm beating them.
Oh shit,
So, I'm watching it, and as a kid, you know, I mean, I'm heartbroken, I'm crushed. I mean, I'm a huge Taker fan back then.
Did you cry?
Did not, but honestly, live, who knows? Who knows? I've been like, no, Papa, no. Threw myself on the coffin like I'm some like bad widow, you know, like, oh my God, no. So, anyways, but it's just like, how does this not happen like in every hardcore match you watch, or street fight, or Hell in a Cell, or anything? Just have like 30 fighters come out and beat the big dude down. Now, the counter to this, everyone's like, well, Daniel, you just can't do that. It just ruins it. And it's like, yeah, here's the thing. So then what you do is, you do a story later on when those 30 fuckers come out, then another 30 guys come out for the other guy, and then everybody's like, okay, fuck it, we can't keep doing this. So then, that keeps people at bay later on, and then you can really bust this out once in a great while.
Now what you do is you hire somebody to stand guard.
Stop.
And you wait till one ballsy motherfucker decides.
Jeff Jarrett. God damn, I love Jeff Jarrett. He sucks. Anyways.
Yeah, right.
No, he wasn't hired to go that second time. Jeff Jarrett's like, I'll do it. I'm sorry.
Join us in a couple of weeks for the finish to this joke.
Oh, shit. So, anyways. Oh, we get my bearings back here. So, anyways, yeah, so they get 10 guys out there, and I'm just like, that's brilliant, though, because it's like the first time you use real logic. Because I'm thinking to myself, being my size, that would be my game plan, even legal matches, where it's like, there's rules of like, yeah, I got 10 motherfuckers with me at all times, though. Like, I keep winning, my money keeps going to them, but guess what? It's like, I'm winning and kicking ass, so it's like, fuck it. Like, I would excel in the hardcore division or the 24/7 division, because I'd just be like, I'm not fighting a motherfucker at all, but these guys will do it for me, and all my paychecks goes to them, and I'm just getting the glory of being champion.
Yep.
Boom! And so, I don't know, the first time that you use that kind of psychology and use that kind of real, it's just like, and the thing is, from a realistic standpoint, Taker has no real allies at all.
No.
So it's just like, no one's going to come out and make the save, so it makes sense, like, why no one's like, well, I'm going to go out there. No one's going to help him. No one cares, you know? Everybody says, these are rebels around the corner. That's it. So, to me, I just felt like that, it made so much sense, and we've never seen that since, really. And, I don't know, but it's a perfect storm. And then, of course, with the ending, as a kid, loved it. Even now, I watch it, I'm like, this is the best.
Well, I mean, younger me was into it, too.
Yeah.
Or would have been into it, too, but, like...
As the adult, you're just like, nope.
No, like, that was definitely, like, you know, and it was still 94, it was still hokey, it was still comic booky and kind of...
Yeah.
But, I mean, they were slowly going away from that, but that was just another thing. Like, you know, looking at it now, it's like, how did that not hurt him?
Oh, I mean, honestly, you couldn't do it today.
I mean, how did he agree to do that with a straight face? Other than just being like, dude, I'll whatever you want me to do.
Yeah. Well, of course, you know,
the Casket promo was the shit.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have just left it there.
Mm-hmm.
The Ascension and all that, I don't know. Like, that was... I like your little... This is how it really happened.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, that's not what they had in mind.
No, they definitely didn't.
So, it's like, is he dead?
Pritchard even said as much when his podcast was, no, that was his spirit ascending to the heavens. That was literally it. He died.
So, the next time we see Taker...
Zombie.
Is Zombie Taker.
Yeah, Zombie Taker.
This is... So...
Resurrected Zombie Taker.
So that was Friday the 13th Part 4.
Exactly. So after this, we're on 6 on up now.
And then will we actually get Friday the 13th?
Oh, we do get Part 5. Yeah, I forgot about that. Fucking Roy makes an appearance. I didn't think about that. Good point.
Next week. But no, it's just like, so, I mean, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. I mean,
he officially he's a dead man now.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing too, like, I don't know. This is the last time we kind of see the gray glove Western. And he still has a Western when he comes back, but it's a little purple glove when he comes back.
I love that look.
No, I agree. Awesome look. Of course, the real reason that they give, or that we've heard in the past, that this injury or this thing takes place with him being written off like this was because, in fact, I've heard different things. I heard he wanted to spend some time with the family. But I also heard he just had some nagging injuries he had to recover from. And
which is something that'll unfortunately plague him for.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he'll get going, and but he's always just a presence that they can always work around. Like, it does always seem to kind of, with the exception of maybe the pre-American Badass that time, but anyway, so he was able to do that. And once again, when he talked to when Conrad asked Bruce Pritchard about that, he didn't really have a definitive answer. He just said it was just kind of like a mixture of both. He just wanted to take some time off, and once again, he's been going hard now for like 3 years, so it's like, yeah, it makes sense. And once again, he's one of the top guys. Like, without a title, he's still the main attraction, which will be another thing we're going to cover the next couple of weeks that I'll get to. But, like, literally, he's the guy. So it's like, you're not going to, like, not let him take some time off, So it worked out. One of the urban legends over the years was always that Marty Jannetty was the guy in the pulley thing, and Bruce Pritchard has also crapped on that and said, no, it was some local whatever guy that they used. So, but I've always heard that too. Did you ever hear that? Okay, so I've always heard that, like, everybody's like, oh, you know that was Marty Jannetty, that was the spirit of the Undertaker, but it was just like, I don't care, it don't really matter either way. Which, honestly, it would be kind of a cool throwback, though. See, it can write, you see, in the Attitude Era, you can make so many storylines when you try to make this real, because then Marty can be like, I helped you out, and now this Ministry of Darkness is going off. Like, what the fuck? Where's the bone for me? Or at that time, he was probably pretty coked up. Well, we're on a side tear there. So, anyways,
I don't think we will ever get to talk about Marty Jannetty.
Poor Marty Jannetty.
He never had that big Taker pay-per-view match.
No, unfortunately. I would have much rather seen him fight Taker at WrestleMania 11, but we'll get King Kong Monday, I guess. Anyway, so a little bit aftermath here. Taker is gone and won't come back for several months. He will come back they'll start prepping his comeback during the summer, and then by SummerSlam he'll make his return. But we'll get to that.
One of his
agreed. Well, build-ups. The build-up was fucking top notch. We'll talk about this next week. We'll get there.
I got something on that.
Yokozuna, on the other hand, so the Rumble would end with a double elimination of Bret Hart and Lex Luger. Interesting thing about this was, so prior to the match, or during the match, Luger gets attacked backstage by Tenryu and Kabuki. These motherfuckers are working overtime. Like, dude, Fuji's paying them. They
probably would have been successful had they not just got their asses handed to them by the end.
Exactly, yeah. If they would have actually, did it, they would have been like, you know what, we're actually
like,
well rested.
Fuji, we can do one or the other, but we can't do both. No, you got to do both.
You got to do both. So they end up destroying Luger backstage. Previous to that, in this match, Bret and Owen went through Quebecers, but the old knee injury started plaguing Bret during the match, and the referee throws the match out. Quebecers retain tag titles, but Owen, pissed off, ends up kicking his leg out from underneath him, starts injuring the knee again, and Bret Hart is probably not going to make the Rumble.
Did he kick the leg out from his leg?
He did! You caught that. Yep, he did. He kicked his leg out from his leg. So, anyway.
Is that what that was?
That's what that was. So, awesome. Rumble happens, and they do a great psych out. It's funny because people think there's more to this than there probably is.
So you still have to talk about the Rumble match, don't you?
A little bit, yeah. We got to talk a little bit. But everybody, there's a moment there because Luger comes out, and everybody's like shocked that Luger made it. But there's a moment where there is a vacant entry, like no one shows up, forfeited, and everybody, of course, commentators is like, well, that must have been Bret Hart. And then what happens is. Jared might as well have been. He didn't do much. Virgil he didn't have Virgil time, I'll say that. So anyways, even Virgil didn't have Virgil time this year. Anyway, Bret finally comes back out, and at the end of the Rumble, they reveal that empty spot was Bastion Booger because he was apparently sick. And everybody's like, well, what's the real story behind that? And I'm like, there was no real story. They just took him out because they had to create the tension in the story for Bret Hart to make you think, well, Bret Hart's not coming out because clearly that would have been a spot. And so anyway, but the two guys that you thought would have no chance of hell winning this actually do win. They end up going over the rope together. And this has been done 2 to 3 more times since. But this is the best one they've ever done. Like, these two guys knew how to land. Everybody else is just like, clearly one guy will hit the floor first and the other guy falls a good second later and they're like, whoa. They both been sitting like, no, they clearly didn't.
They'll show it fucking slow-mo in like the perfect angle, and it's like, clearly.
It's sad, but they said they've done it so many times since then. But this is the first time that they did it, and it was the best time. And they had you can tell they worked it out beautifully beforehand, or at least had the camera set beforehand, because there was never a clear shot. There was never a shot of the legs hitting the ground. It was always from like the side looking or whatever. And so anyways, it was decided, this was before they started doing triple threat matches, that they would both be number 1 contenders. And they flipped a coin. And the rule was the winner of the coin flip would get a shot at Yokozuna first, and then the next person would, have to fight another match to be fair, and then the winner, the world champion, would face the loser of the coin flip, and they each had a match under their belt. So Luger wins, and Luger goes up against Yokozuna. And of course, there's a perfect special. Both title matches would have a special referee that would be agreed upon by both pretty people, and so they both agreed that Mr. Perfect would be the perfect referee, and of course, Perfect fucks over Luger, and Yokozuna wins. Bret Hart would fight Owen, and Owen would actually pick up the clean victory in one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, which may be kind of both saying now, but I think if you did a top 20, it's definitely on the list somewhere, because I know there's a lot of good ones since then.
I've always said I would definitely probably put it in my top, maybe even top 5 of like non-main event WrestleMania.
Yeah,
matches.
no, absolutely. As far as openers, the greatest. I mean, maybe even pay-per-view wise, the greatest opener ever. It really just it's a technical clinic, and it's awesome. And it's a story goes in, but besides that, Bret loses, goes on, he beats Yokozuna for the title, and Yokozuna, of course, lost out and whatever. And yeah, he would him and Crush would go after tag titles, the King of the Ring, and it was unsuccessful. And then he would just kind of fade away until he brought back a little bit later, but we'll get to that at some point too. So that's all we got. Anything else you want to add to this?
No, man. No.
All right. Well, 3.5 stars. Ties for the highest. It was definitely a damn good match. Definitely ties sort of highest. Ties with the Royal Rumble 92. So it's in good company right now. I will say that, even though we will disagree, that the match goes to the top. It's a damn good match. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So yeah. I will say I have to agree with that. So no matter what, we got good choices up there. So that's all we got, guys. Tune in next week. We got fun. We got fun. You know what? I will stand by the opening of that one. But, so, anyways, that's all we got, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh shit! Didn't always run. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Darkside. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go right there. So be sure to get on, give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh, yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.